Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matt, welcome to the Sin Bin, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Mitch Marner situation and about a really juicy rumor circulating about the Islanders potentially sending an offer sheet over to Mitch Marner's camp. Before we get into that, just a little bit about my channel. So here at the Sin Bin, we cover the NHL as an entirety. We don't really look at one team specifically. We kind of look at every single team. And today we're going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Every Friday, there's a live show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys can join. It's really good. Last show was a blast that I had with Jay Klink. So hope you guys can join. But without further ado, let's get into the Mitch Marner situation. So, in case you guys have been under a rock this whole summer, this whole offseason, which is okay, Mitch Marner is yet to sign a contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is this a problem? Well, yes and no. It's not a problem in the sense is that it's business. Mitch Marner is going to command his money. You know, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they want a deal. So it's normal that there's a lot of time that's being passed because they can't come to an agreement. Mitch Marner wants a lot of money. Toronto Maple Leafs want to save money, especially with their tight cap hit. Now, it's a problem in the sense that when a player kind of holds out like this, for me at least, I think that it's a major distraction. And that can be potentially, a distracting thing next season going into the locker room if the deal happens at the start of the season. We all saw it with the William Nylander situation. The fact that he sat out, had to go play in Europe because he couldn't come to a consensus with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that was a major distraction, and we saw it in his season. He didn't have a good season at all. I don't think that will happen with Mitch Marner. I think that he'll end up signing with the Maple Leafs. They're going to come to a bridge deal agreement. Unfortunately, it won't be long-term. I say unfortunately if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, not so much if you're Mitch Marner, but it's going to be a bridge deal worth a record amount, maybe $10 million, and that's that. So that's cool. Until we got into some rumors. Yes, the Islanders are preparing to offer Marner a 7-year, $91 million offer. That's an average annual value of $13 million. Marner wants 5 years. So it appears that the Islanders are pretty close to making an offer sheet towards the camp. The only thing that may be a little bit conflicting is that Marner really wants that 5 years. And I've been hearing this all over again. Marner is set on 5 years. The Islanders want to give him 7. The reason that Marner wants 5 years, in case you guys don't know, is that the salary cap is expected to go up. And the NHL is making a deal with ESPN. Without a doubt, the cap is going to go up. So with the cap going up, Marner wants to benefit from that. He wants a short-term deal, so once that cap is a little higher, he can re-sign for a higher amount. But what do I think about this? So as you guys saw, this rumor, it's from a league source out of New York. I don't know how reputable that source is. I couldn't find a name or anything like that. I didn't do much research in my defense, but I don't know how reputable. I don't think this is out of the realm of possibility, though, because we saw it during this offseason. The Islanders were in till the very end for another big name, Artemi Panarin. And they offered him not far from what they're reportedly going to offer Mitch Marner. They offered him a $12.5 million contract. We all know how that ended up. He ended up signing with the rivals, the New York Rangers. So it seems like the Islanders, ever since they lost John Tavares, they're dead set on getting a superstar back. And since they lost out on Panarin, now it looks like Marner is their next target. Do I think that Mitch Marner would sign with the Islanders? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. If Sebastian Aho signed with the Canadiens an offer sheet, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Marner would sign an offer sheet because, let's face it, it's a business. Gone are the days of loyalty where the players are like, this is my team, I bleed with my team, I'm going to win with my team, I'm going to lose with my team. Gone are those days. Now it's a business. And Marner is saying, I want every single penny. I'm going to go to the team that offers me the biggest monetary value. Do I fault him for that? I mean, it's easy for me as a fan. I'm an armchair GM. I'm an amateur. It's easy for me to say, hey, dude, stick with your team. They drafted you. You're a Toronto boy. This is a beautiful story. Just stick with them. But in the end of the day, these players, they want every single penny. And I can't really fault them for that because it is a business in the end. I know I'm repeating myself, but it really is. Now, let's see Marner's response to all of this. So Marner says it's not about the money. Bullshit. It's about going to a team that can actually win a playoff series. Wow. So if this quote is true, if what Marner is saying is true, and again, still rumors, but if what he's saying is true, I don't think that's a very good move on Mitch Marner's part. I mean, sending a jab over to the Toronto Maple Leafs, we all know it. They have trouble winning a playoff series. In the NHL, this is what I've learned watching hockey throughout the years. There's certain teams that some teams just have difficulty winning against. And they've proven after every single season that the Toronto Maple Leafs are one of those teams. They have trouble winning against the Boston Bruins. We all know that. They can't win the first round because they keep meeting the Boston Bruins in the first round. I think that when you're trying to make a deal with your team, I don't think this is a good move for Mitch Marner, sending a jab over on their part. I don't think that's the best move. That's just me. Tell me, you guys, what you think in the comments. But as for the whole thing, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future the Islanders do send an offer sheet. Now, I have an article. It's called EyesOnIsles.com. Obviously very heavily sided towards the Islanders here. They're exploring the possibility of this deal actually going through, and if it really makes sense. That article goes in depth. I'll leave it in the description if you guys want to read it. But just to go over a few points that they're saying. Right now, the Islanders, they have a cap hit of about $8.5 million. So it's not quite $13 million. But that being said, it won't be impossible for them to make that space because they have Nick Leddy, who's a really, really good skating defenseman. He makes $5.5 million. They can easily trade him for picks. And there's also Thomas Hickey. He makes $2.5 million. He can also be traded for later round picks or two. So it wouldn't be impossible for the Islanders to make space to potentially offer sheet Mitch Marner. Now, their upcoming RFAs, Anthony Beauvillier, Michael Dal Colle, and Josh Ho-Sang. Well, Michael Dal Colle and Josh Ho-Sang are somewhat busts. They won't require that much money. And Anthony Beauvillier isn't going to break the bank either. So it's dead set. I think the Islanders can definitely make this space for Panarin. Now, we all know the way the offer sheets work. We all know that if they do sign Mitch Marner to the $13 million contract, say it goes through, they're going to have to require to give compensation to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's 4 first-rounders. If you look at that, I always thought that the team getting the 4 first-rounders, yeah, sure, they lose a really good player, but in the end of the day, I would take 4 first-rounders over Mitch Marner. I mean, he's a good player. He's going to help you in the immediate, but in the long run, depending on if your team wants to win now or not, it's all relative. But in the long run, if you go on NHL PlayStation, you try to trade Mitch Marner for 4 rounders, they'll accept it every single time. And I know this is real life. This isn't NHL. That may have been a bad example. But is he worth 4 rounders? I don't think so. I think that 4 rounders are worth more than Mitch Marner. And the Islanders, they don't finish particularly high in the standings either, right? So those 4 first rounders, they're not going to be super, super low. They might be mid first rounders, maybe even high first rounders if they miss the playoffs. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are still going to get some things in return. But that being said, they're losing potentially, I say potentially, arguably their best player. I kind of went rambling on, guys. I'm really sorry about that. My ideas are kind of all over the place. I just like to, open the camera, spitball information. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, please. If I'm wrong, please tell me while I'm wrong. Be respectful, obviously. Or you don't even have to be respectful. I don't really care. Let me know why I'm wrong. If I'm right, please subscribe to the channel. We recently passed 200 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Now let's reach 500. That's my next goal. And as per usual, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Matt, signing off.